Welcome back to Glowing Card Gaming. And now, your host, Adam. Oh no, I had the YouTube on because I was trying to do a bunch of stuff here. The hate is strong for the Denver Broncos today. I don't even know why it's so bad. Like, it's bad. Is this what social media has become? Just a bunch. Really, it's just a bunch of. Really, I mean, I gave Nick Wright credit the other day because he actually gave credit to the Denver Broncos. I could see it pained him to do it, but the man knew he had to do it to be taken seriously because he's saying the truth. I mean, sometimes the truth hurts, but he said it. But boy, the hate is strong. I'm just reading a tweet out here. I'm actually trying to work on also getting a better clip of the just the weird, funny thing that happened in Arc Raiders. So I'm going to try and post that. And that one actually did fairly well overall. Got 1.7K viewers for that one. Did slightly better than most of my other videos who top out around 1.2 to 1.4. So see what happens with a clear version of that. So if my editor's watching, I'm working on it. Oh, that reminds me. Let's see. Nope. None of that. So I've been seeing a lot of just hate overall. So there's a post about that play that Washington scored on that fourth down with about 2 minutes 45 left to go in overtime. And the original poster, Carson, or at Broncos for 6, and it's the number 4 and 6 spelled out. Watch at Pat Surtain. I don't know why that says LL. No, I. What is that? Oh my God. I'm an old man. Well, it's at Pat Surtain on this play, and ask yourself why it was the first TD he allowed in over a year. And he posted the clip of that. When you see it, yeah, he got picked on that play. A pick, for those of you who don't know, is when both receivers are crossing, but one of the receivers is not really going out for a pass. His job is to block the guy covering the receiver who's going to get the ball. And on this play, you can clearly see it was a pick. Should have been called, actually. It was egregious enough. I've seen worse called, or less called, I should say. So it's done. But then there's this guy that responded, Disco, at Disco QUE 90, who said this, quote, old and injury-prone wide receiver dominated one of the best CBs in the league in his first game back in weeks. Weird, frowny face, replying to Carson on that. So I'm thinking I'm going to respond. By dominated, do you mean the pick his teammate ran? So I was kind of doing that. I noticed I had more viewers, so it's time to flip the switch and turn it on. Seems like the only way the old injury prone WR could dominate. Set. But yeah, I'm seeing a lot of hate. Of I think it's when you're getting a lot of that, you're doing something right. The Broncos are 10-2, and actually, without both of those questionable calls against the Chargers and the Colts early in the season, this is probably a 12-0 team right now. And if they were 12-0, we wouldn't even be talking about the Chiefs' playoff chances. They'd be non-existent. I don't think the Chiefs are going to make the playoffs anyway. I mean, the Chiefs are 6-6. All of the other wild card teams right now are 8-4, all three of them. So that's a 2-game lead with 5 to go. A loss by Kansas City or a win by all three of those teams, or both. If both happen, Kansas City is not mathematically eliminated, but one more loss by Kansas City and a win by those three teams would mathematically eliminate them. So they could be 2 weeks away from being eliminated from the playoffs altogether. Now, looking at their season or their remaining schedule, the Chiefs play the Texans this weekend. That's not a win for the Chiefs. It's not. The Texans are playing really well right now. They are in the wild card position with something to play for. The Chiefs are on the outside looking in. Maybe some desperation there. Are they on the road or are they at home? Let me take a look here. Now, I know if you guys haven't heard also, Bet ESPN has now become the score bet. So that's what it is. I'm just looking up the games right now, and maybe I'll just I don't want to download it. Can I just go there? You used to be able to see this online as well. Boy, that sucks. They don't have a website that you can look at anymore. Back when it was ESPN, you could. So what do we have? So here we go. We can do FanDuel maybe? Let's see what FanDuel has. DraftKings is also one as well. Let's see what we got. Oh my God. Can we just go somewhere? I don't know. Instead of show spinning. But the DraftKings is like, that's I don't know. So the sometimes now I can choose so actually whoa, I'm not that much of an old man. Holy crap. All I wanted to do was get closer on the Zoom because we have all this crap on the side that I don't need. Oh, this is magnifier. I don't want the magnifier. I just want the page to be bigger. I think you could do it. It's Control plus, right? No. Alt plus. Shift plus. Tab plus. Dang it. I know there's a way to do it. More tools. Well, forget it for now. Let's go to the NFL page, please. All right. I want to look at the Kansas City game. We have Denver at the Raiders. I want to talk about that a little bit. It's at Arrowhead. Okay. The Chiefs are actually favored by 3.5. Oh man, I'm definitely taking the Houston Texans then for sure. Probably take the over too. 41.5. I'm sure there's going to be 50 points in this game. Not that the Chiefs can't do something, couldn't pull off a win here. And I think that's why they're getting 3.5 because they're at home. If they were at Houston should be favored in this game. Probably by 7, I would say. And I think Houston's just going to flat out win this game outright. So I'm going to take the Houston Texans in this game. And the Chiefs are going to fall to 6-7. And if all of the teams win, that are in the wild card, they'll all go to 9-5. I think they're 8-4 right now. They'll go all 3 of them will go to 9-4, and the Chiefs will be at 6-7. 3 games with 4 games to go. Technically, if they still won out, they could do it, but they have to play the Chargers and the Broncos in their remaining schedule. I just don't think they win out. I don't see it. And then for those remaining playoff teams, all they have to do is win enough games. They will eventually just eliminate the Chiefs. The Chiefs their destiny will not be in their hands. The Chiefs will have to start winning out, and one of those wildcard teams, will have to basically lose out at that point, I believe. After this weekend, they'll basically have to. I mean, it's not mathematically impossible, but it's really difficult. If all of those teams win 1 or 2 more games, which is very likely for a lot of those teams, one of them, I think the Colts. No, not the Colts. I can't remember the other teams that are like. We can go to the NFL. I know that would have playoff picture. Do we have NFL? Oh, right here. NFL playoffs, if they probably were to start today, right? Yeah. This is what would happen today. I think, right? Play NFL playoffs. Yeah. Why? Oh, because they have tons of alternatives depending on who gets in. Because they have the Chiefs listed playing the Texans. And, I mean, oh, wait. No? Is that? I don't know. Let's go to, because I'm sure they have. Yep, they do. Playoff picture. God dang it. So this is if the playoffs were to start today. This would be the rankings. Now, be aware, the Broncos really do hold the 1 seed here because they hold the tiebreaker currently against the Patriots. And the Patriots are on a bye. So the Broncos probably beat the Raiders this weekend. I'm not going to say they will. But if that happens, both teams then go to 11-2. Broncos then retake the 1 seed. And their destiny really is in their own hands. They do play the Chargers again, the Chiefs again. Sorry, my hands are dried out. Whoever's in the chat, thank you for hanging in there. Also, if you're not subscribed, you'll have to be subscribed for like 10 minutes or something. It's getting a lot of people and bots doing, advertising, and it was getting really annoying, and it didn't take me long to increase that. So you have to be there for 10 minutes, and that's why. Sorry, but if you hang out for that long, hang out in the chat. More than happy to talk football with you or whatever you want if you're still there. I see the number went back down. All right. But, so as it stands right now, all 4 of these top seeds would win their division, with the Ravens being the weakest at 6-6. So the Chargers, Colts, and Bills are all 8-4. Okay. Texans probably going to win because they're probably going to beat the Chiefs, right? We're also looking in. Now, the Texans have a lot more to lose and play for. Because if they win and go to 8-5, and any one of these teams lose, it's likely they could jump up and take one of those playoff spots, right? And the Bills aren't looking very great. I'll tell you that. And the Chargers aren't really looking great either, and they're playing Phillies. They're probably going to lose that game. The Colts are playing the Jags. Jags are good too. So the Colts may not win their game. Bills playing Cincinnati. Probably going to, I won't say they're going to win because the Bills haven't been playing that great. So this is a coin toss. So the Bills could lose this game. But the Texans win. They're now 8-4 or 8-5. Everybody here is 8-5. The Chiefs are 6-7. Everybody, all 4 of these teams are ahead of the Chiefs. And any 3 combinations of them end with a better record than the Chiefs, it's over. And the Steelers technically are ahead of the Chiefs as well. So I just don't see the Chiefs. I still don't see any way the Chiefs make the playoffs. Is there anybody? Okay. There are teams that have now been eliminated. I looked at this. Last time I looked at this, there wasn't anybody who'd been eliminated. But the Raiders are definitely mathematically eliminated, and so are the Titans. The Browns will be after this week, and so will the Jets. Bengals probably will be with a loss to Buffalo. I guess they won't mathematically be eliminated, so they'll have one more opportunity to win out and have a lot of help getting in. But you're really, where you're looking at this point is the Texans on up. This really is your playoff picture. These are the teams that have a chance of making it, right here on the AFC side, on the left side. On the right, it's a little more interesting. You have a 9-4 Niners. You have an 8-3-1 Packers team. You have a 9-3 Seahawks team. The Lions have a shot. The Panthers have a shot. The Cowboys, even with that loss, have a chance. It's an outside chance. And they probably have to win out. But I'm going to say the Panthers and the Lions are your cutoff currently. on the NFC side. But it's really the Texans on up. And it's almost been solidified. The only thing that you don't know is what place anybody's going to finish in. Broncos could lose a couple, end in second. Because right now, I mean, they have a 2-game lead over everybody else for that 2 position, which is still important because you play all your playoff games at home unless you have to play the Patriots. Then you go to Foxborough to play them there. That's my understanding anyway. So yeah, I don't know why there's all this. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of hate for the Broncos. What? You want the Chiefs to win again? To have them three-peat? It was everybody outside of Chiefs Nation rooting for the Eagles last year because nobody wanted to see the Chiefs be the three-peat team. Nobody really wanted to see the Eagles win it either. Come on, let's be honest. Outside of Philly, anyway. It's rough. It's rough. So I'm just saying, everybody just cut everybody some slack. Come on. I get it. You like to troll. There's a lot of hate out there. Always reminds me of the clip where I'm trying to win. I told you beforehand that I was tired and I wasn't gonna. And that's kind of why I'm doing it. I'm gonna try to go to bed early, get some good sleep tonight. I say that every night, and it just doesn't happen because I'm stupid. And end up staying late, piddling around, puttering around, doing something close to nothing, but different than the day before. Anybody get that reference? Raspberry Beret. Prince. Come on, guys. This is simple stuff. All right. So I don't have a heck of a lot to say other than get ready. Uh-oh. What's going to happen? Are you threatening me? Are you threatening me? Do you have tippy for my bungalow? No, just kidding. Are you talking about all the hate that's coming my way for, hey, I've been a Broncos fan. Look, I don't even know what this mascot is for the Denver Nuggets, but these 2 banners are from 1967. I don't even know what this mascot dude is. I have no clue who he is. The Miner 49er. I don't know. But that one is from 67. This one's newer. I think this was like 93. And this was the inaugural season for the Rockies, 93 as well. It's been in the sun a little bit, so it's a little faded and sun-worn. And these have just been around for so long. But, yeah, I'm going to get a lot of hate, I guess, for liking the Broncos. But, yeah, they're sitting at 2. And after I don't see them losing to the Raiders. But, again, earlier this year they played the Raiders and they only won 10-7. Now, not that there's really any excuse, but I think the reason for that was that it was a very short week. They played a Sunday night game and then played on Thursday, and it was super cold during that game. I think it was like 10 degrees or something. And Max Crosby on the Raiders looked gassed from basically the first play. I saw him on the first series, and you could tell his eyes were all red. He looked sleepy, like he hadn't had enough sleep. And he was gassed. His hands were on his hips already in that first quarter. But he looked just as good as anybody else out there that night. They all looked gassed and tired. And, it would be a great argument for not to have those Thursday night games once high school football ends, they should just move the Thursday night to Friday night games and, kind of knock that crap off, to be honest. I still like the games in England and in Europe, France. I come from France, Germany, Ireland. I think we still should play games there. I know they tried to have a league there, but as the spectators grow over there, and as the fan base gets larger over there, they could try it again. I think they could. That would probably be the only other place I think a league would work. Although I like the XFL, the new XFL, the way it's coming along. It's got some different teams. It's got coaches that were formerly in the NFL. There's a lot of stuff there. There's a lot of appetite there for more football, and that's more of a summer league, so it's not happening when the NFL's happening. Although now that the USFL and the XFL merged, I don't know why. It just feels like it lost all its momentum after that point. And I really didn't see or hear about any of the XFL games last year. It's too bad. Of course, we're not going to have the games like we did back when Vince McMahon owned the XFL and the WWE, and they could name themselves whatever, and He Hate Me, and the $1 million game where it was like the Super Bowl that everybody got $1 million. They got paid $1 million if they won. And the other team got nothing. You got nothing for losing. Oh, man. Could you imagine that? Playing your whole season, and at the end of the season, goose egg, you get nothing. Nothing. Anyway. No, that's my playoff picture. I don't think anybody outside of the Texans on the bubble are gonna. I don't even think the Steelers probably don't have a shot. Chiefs probably don't have a shot. Sorry. Any of the fans that are out there, they're not. And on the NFC side, there really isn't much more of a gap on that side. In fact, with the Packers tie, everybody's like 9 and something, and it's 8-4 on the AFC side. So really, it's going to be a little tougher of a haul, although the Lions have the best shot. Panthers, I would say possibly on an outside shot, but the Panthers really would, at this point, need to win out. And then all 3 Seahawks, Packers, and Niners probably have to lose out, which is probably not going to happen. So, there you go. All right, let's go back to Sports King, and let's pick some games. Also, I want to do the Beerly picks. I'm gonna go on to X and look at what 3 games they want, and then I'll pick those. I got Nat mention on there for picking all 3 games last week, so see if we can just repeat the performance. All right, first up, Seattle at Atlanta. Seahawks are favored by 6.5. Seahawks could be favored by 14. I think they'd still take it. I think the Seahawks are going to just beat up all over Atlanta. I wish they had the records here. See, I liked ESPN because it had it all. It had all the stuff you'd need. You know what? I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back to NFL.com on this side. Let me throw it up on here. On this other side. And I'll look at the standings, and then I can kind of tell you guys how. Perfect standings. So we're looking at the Atlanta Falcons and Seahawks. Seahawks have a pretty good record. They're 9-3. The Atlanta Falcons are 4-8. So, yeah. And Seahawks are playing amazingly well right now. So, at minus 6.5. So they got to win by 7 points or more. But I'm still taking the Seahawks. That's what we're doing. Then we have the Bungles at the Bills. Bills are not playing very well right now, but They are still looking to get in the playoffs. They have the 8th spot right now. So they got to win a few games, and so they might be a little more desperate. We'll see. This will be a very telling game. The Bengals are, what's their record? 4-8. Yeah, they're kind of in the same boat. We're looking at very similar records to the Seattle and Atlanta game. Now, do I think the Bills will win by 6? That's the real question here. I don't know if they'll win by 6. That is a very good line. I think they're dead on. Tie goes to me, by the way. If the Bills win by 6, I get it. Or if I pick the Bengals and they lose by 6, I get it. Push either way. I really do think this is a coin toss, but I'm going to go with the Bills simply because they should be the better team. They should win it. I don't know if they will, but they should. All right. That's set in stone. Bills minus 6.5 on that. Saints, Bucks. We got the Saints here. What's their record? They're not doing very well at all. 2-10. But I don't know if the Bucks are much better. Oh, the Bucks are leading the NFC South? What? When did that happen? I've been asleep. Bucks are 7-5. Not a great record for leading the NFC South. Oh man, that's like the Steelers and Ravens. They're both 6-6, and the Ravens, whether they just swapped. Yeah, the Ravens came in because they hold the tiebreak. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. Bucks by 8.5 over the Saints. Really, they got to make 8.5. I just don't like that many points. I'm going to go with the Saints plus the 8.5. Do I think the Saints will win? No. But I don't think they'll lose by 10. Now watch the Bucks win by 20. Every time I've thought that this year, they've been pegged. I'm gonna switch right now before it's set in stone. I'm gonna go Tampa Bay Bucks minus 8.5. Boy, that's a tough sell. It doesn't feel good saying that, but I'm gonna go with it. Bucks minus 8.5. All right, next one. Colts, Jags. Ooh, this is a good match. This might be the game of the week, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, but I was just talking about the Steelers and Ravens fighting for that last playoff spot, and they're the next game. Got 2 big, beautiful games coming up. They're big, beautiful games. Everybody knows it. I don't know which one I'm going to pick here. I think, boy, this is a tough call. The Jags are playing lights out right now, and the Colts are kind of on that downward spiral. Don't know if they're going to make the playoffs. I'm going to go with the Jags plus 1.5. I'm going to go with the Jags plus 1.5. I think the Jags probably win it. Cautiously, I'm going to say that. Watch them lose by 1. I'd still give it. I think that's going to be the game of the week, though. Colts, Jags, flip on your TVs if you have that game. You're not going to be disappointed. Get your nachos out and scarf them down and have a nice beer. Chill and watch that game. We got Pittsburgh at Baltimore. The Ravens are favored by 6. I mean, they hold the playoff spot. The Steelers, Aaron Rodgers not looking good. And the Steelers aren't looking good with Rodgers at the helm. And they're stuck. They don't have a quarterback that's better than Rodgers to come in. I don't see any of their backups being better than Rodgers. And Rodgers now should be one of the best backup quarterbacks in the league, but I don't think he's a starting quarterback in the NFL now. This should be his last year. I'm going to go Ravens on that one. But that, again, If you don't have the Jags and Colts on, and they have that game on instead, that's the other one you should watch. The Steelers, Ravens, probably going to be a battle, but I'm going to go with the Ravens -6. Set it in stone. We got the Titans at the Browns in a who cares game. We're too late in the season for this game to matter for either one of these teams. I don't think they're playing for the Titans. Definitely are not playing for anything. They are mathematically eliminated already at 1-11. They have one win. Who do you think I'm going to pick? I don't even care how many wins the Browns have. They're only favored by 4.5. Are you kidding me right now? I'm taking the Browns 4.5. Even at 3-9, they are 3-9. I'm going to take the Browns because the Titans are just that bad. Moving on, we got the Washington Commanders at the Minnesota Vikings. And with the performance that Washington put on Denver last week, almost winning, and me learning about overtime rules because it's been so long since I'd watched an overtime game. Who knew that you could score a touchdown in the overtime and not win? I'm sure their hands going up all over the place out there. But I didn't. I still thought a touchdown won it and was kind of confused by the lack of celebration by the Broncos when they punched it in. I was like, didn't we just win? Why are we kicking the extra point? What's happening? Oh, no. They get a shot. That was dumb. I think it's better and more fair, honestly, though. So, more power to them on that. Anyway, all that to say that the Washington Commanders played lights out last week. They revamped their system. Their coaching and play calling is a lot better than it has been in the last 3 weeks. So, in this one, 2 points. That's all they need to win by. Washington over Minnesota. What's Minnesota's record? Let me before I say much more. I'll get to the comment in just a second. Minnesota 4-8. Ooh. Well, Washington's only 3-9 though, too, right? They're not doing well. Yeah, 3-9. So I think the way Washington played last weekend, if they play like that again, they're going to dominate this game. I'm taking the Washington Commanders over the Minnesota Vikings. Let me pause for a second. What? Do I prefer to eat licorice or live slugs? How about neither? I hate both of those things. Welcome to the channel, by the way, JT Hat, or Jay That Guy, Jay Guy. Oh my God, what a name. Jay That Guy. Missed it again. Jay Guy. There I go. There I go. There I go again. Better not sing the rest of that. Yeah, I don't know why you're asking me that. It's a weird question. All right. Where were we? Taking the Commanders, -1.5. Miami Dolphins at Jets. God. Miami has picked it up, haven't they? They're playing way better than the Jets. They kind of suck. They just suck. I think this is a no-brainer. I think Miami wins at least by 3, but more like 7. I'm going to go with Miami on that one. Here's the game I'm most interested in. The Denver Broncos at the Las Vegas Raiders. Seeing how the games have been going for Denver, do I think Denver will win by 8? What a question. They should. They should dominate this game. They should win by 20. Do I think they'll do that? No way. No way. They haven't been. Do I think the Broncos win this game? Yes. But do they win by 8? I'm going to say they win by 10. A touchdown and a field goal. They should be really dominating this Raiders team, and they're not going to. So I'm gonna go the Broncos, but I don't feel good with the points. What do we got? Amen and Dez. Sorry if I'm butchering that. It's also hard to read because the color that they put you on my background is not the best. 07. The upset with Houston. That could be is that really an upset? Because I think the Texans are just going to win that. And I'm not wrecking anything, jumping ahead in the list here. We already looked at that earlier in the podcast. If you guys were here a little earlier, I'd already said that I think that Houston is just going to win it in Kansas City. I mean, as long as it's not too cold or there's weather. And I think the forecast is, what time is that game? 6:20, so it'll be an evening game, so it'll be right around freezing during that game. So it'll be a little cold, but I think Houston's used to, they played some cold games, and they are playing very well. So do I think that's odds-wise upset? Yeah, I think that's your deal of the week. I mean, if you're talking about trying to get a deal in odds, they're giving you 3.5 with Houston in that. So, yeah, it could be the best odds-wise upset of the week. What do you think about the games I thought were going to be the top games this week with Indy and Jags? I think that might be the game of the week. And Pittsburgh at Baltimore. Anybody out there think those games are going to be the games of the week? Let me know. Where was I? Oh, yeah. I'm not feeling good about the Broncos. I'm going to take them. Oh, man. That really is, because, they've been in a lot of one-score games, and the Raiders aren't playing for anything, but they like to play the spoiler in the division. Although Max Crosby did not practice and is very questionable for this game. He may not play in this game. If Max Crosby does not play in this game, Denver wins it, I think, walking away by at least 7.5 or more. So I'm going to, nothing's going to change my mind on picking the Broncos at 7.5 versus the Raiders. If this would have been anybody else, like if you were saying 7.5 versus Kansas City, I'm taking Kansas City plus 7.5. Now, do I think Denver still wins? Yes, but only by like a field goal. Bears, Packers. What's the record here? I need to put this back up on the screen. I can either put the records on the screen or the chat on the screen. I can't have both. I guess I could probably figure it out. I'm the master of my own thing here. Here we go. Oh, man. Where's my chat? It doesn't have the chat on the screen. Oh, no. I split the screen so I could have both on, and it's not working. Dang it. Why? Ugh. All right, back to it. All business, all the time. Oh, there it is. It worked. Okay, we're going to leave it just like that. I got the chat and the records. Bears at Packers. Bears 9-3. Packers right below them, 8-3 divisional game. This is a potential playoff game. Really, this is probably a playoff game. And the Bears are I don't know why. Oh, they're at Green Bay. That's why they're favored by a touch. They always give this is something, I don't know if everybody knows this in here, but they always give the home team 7 points on the betting line. So that fits that they think this is probably a neck-and-neck game, but Green Bay will take it because they're at home. I disagree. The Bears, who knew when the season started, the Lions and the Packers would both be looking up the divisional standings at the Bears? I wouldn't have said that. There's no way I would have said that at the beginning of the year. And they're playing really well. I'd be shocked if the Packers beat the Bears, and then on top of that, you're getting 6.5 points for Chicago. So even if they lose by a field goal, you're still going to win. I'm taking the Bears plus 6.5. Thank you very much. Next, Rams Cardinals. Boy, there's a lot of tougher games to pick. They got the lines pretty well done. Rams are 8.5 favorites. They are pretty dominant this season, and they have been putting up big numbers. And the Cardinals are 3-9. This is another big one. Do I go for it? I think I do. I'm going to take the Rams, 8.5 on that. Again, not feeling great about it, but good enough to take them. And then we're kind of going to gloss over this next one. Houston Texans at the Chiefs. Chiefs not playing really well at 6-6. Houston's at 7-5. They're on the bubble looking in for playoffs. They need this one a lot more than the Chiefs do. I think the Chiefs are already out. I don't know if everybody knows that. So I'm going Texans plus 3.5. I think that's kind of an easy call. Then we have the Eagles at the Chargers. They're in LA. Chargers haven't been playing great as of late, but Philly got exposed by Denver some way because they were undefeated coming into Mile. Or would they play at Mile High? So they've had 5 games since then, and they are 8-4. So they've gone 2-3 since playing Denver. I can see why they put the line the way they did. But I don't think the Chargers have it in them to beat the Eagles. I think the Eagles do win that and stay atop the NFC East, although the Cowboys are just playing awful too. So Eagles are probably going to win the NFC East and take that playoff spot. So I'm going to go Eagles to win plus or minus 2.5 on them. Atlanta Falcons at the Bucks. Boy, this is another who cares game. We got the Atlanta Falcons. What's their record? I'm trying to find them. They must be at the bottom of some list here. Where the heck? You think I've been watching football for a long time. You think I'd know what division they were in. Why? Why is this so difficult? NFC South. Yeah. Oh, and they're playing the Saints? No, they're playing the Bucks. Who lead the division? Oh, and the Bucks. Oh, I see now. Now I get the line. Bucks are 7-5. Falcons are 4-8. That Tampa Bay, Atlanta. Yeah, Tampa Bay wins that. I'm going to go with Tampa Bay. My mindset's on that. But that's sort of an easy call. And that's next week. But that's everything on internet. And that's that. So that's that aspect. And that's it. And then. But that's it. Yeah, I don't have much else in terms of football or any of that stuff. Yeah. Kind of doxed myself, didn't I? Sort of, not really. There's nothing really on that. And then on kick. So that's really cool. We're starting to. I think I'm going fastest on there. Although Twitch, I'm at like 40 or 49, somewhere around there. So I'm getting ready to hit 50, which I think that's when you can start. That sends you when you can start doing it. But if you have 3 average viewers, I think on Twitch during that time, and that does have 7 hours, that does have 7 days in the month and have 3 different viewers on all of those. So maybe that. Matthew posted that. Anything anybody else wants to talk about? Lindsay Gaming 23, you just joined. Although I think you have to be following for a certain amount of time, even on Kick, because all those bots and spammers nailing my channel with a bunch of spam. I had to set that. Anybody else who's streaming and that kind of thing, I know you know. I don't really have much else to say. We've done our picks. Broncos get a lot of hate. I mean, I could scroll through and see. I'm gonna hide the screen capture for a minute. We'll get it back going. We'll get everything going. But yeah, sorry, I have cats and they're thumping around up there right now. Don't have much else to say. I'm thinking that most people who have stopped by the channel tonight probably are expecting more video game play. I'm just exhausted from this week. I need to do a better job of getting to bed early, being an adult, and getting it together and getting rest so that I can play something serious, because I would like to play Arc Raiders, but I'm too tired. I know that the gameplay that I would put up just wouldn't be worth it. Not that I'm all that great to begin with, but I can tell you that it's even worse when I'm tired like this. And again, I tell you guys, everybody out there, just don't get old. It's fine. Just stay the age you are right now. Concentrate on it. Think about it. Will yourself to remain the same age now forever. You can do it. I believe in you. Everybody that's staying the same age, good. Glad. Don't get old. Nobody told me how tired I would be all the time. No matter what I'm doing, it seems like I'm somewhat tired. But if I don't get good rest, I'm like useless. Anyway, well, hopefully I won't be too far from retiring or being able to stream full time, or do whatever I need to do. Because if I were a full-time streamer, I would just sleep, get all the rest I need, get up late morning. I would work out, eat something sensible. By sensible, I mean like eggs and toast and bacon or sausage or something like that. Oatmeal, fruit, stuff like that. And then hop on and stream for 6 to 8 hours every day. And I would love to do that. So be sure that you're liking, sharing, subscribing, following, all of those things, especially sharing it, getting the channel out there. What do you guys think? Play some water park simulator, and then do about an hour, hour and a half of that, and then go to bed, get some good sleep, rest up for this week. And I do have something I'm doing tomorrow. I actually play D&D live. Can you believe that? At a table with real dice and papers and maps. Yeah, people do that. I do that. And that's what I'm doing tomorrow. So I won't be on for the main part of the day. But I do plan on, and especially with some good rest, being back on, play some Arc Raiders, maybe some Hollow Knight to see if I can beat the Radiance tomorrow. But I think what I'll do, the same thing I do every time, so that I have the right tags and everything for Water Park Simulator. I'll end this. Give me like 5 minutes, and I'll come back on, and we'll play some Water Park Simulator. And I'll level up some in there. Hopefully we'll buy some expansions tonight and get some more things and get the park going. I am not taking a baseball bat around like Queso. If you're expecting that, disappointment. But I am going to beat Queso the next time he appears in my games. He ate all my hot dogs. He ate all my hot dogs in the game. All right, guys. That's going to be it for the... Let me actually, before I log off, I know I talked a lot of football, and I don't know how many viewers have just come on, just subscribed, want a chance to maybe say something in the chat. If you do, let me know. This is the last chance for football talk. Oh, shoot. Guys, you guys are letting me off the hook. Too easily. We got to go to Beerly on X. They're going to have their pick'ems this week for the 3 games. And I went 3 for 3 last week. Got a shout out. So we're going to go back to X. Let me find it real quick, and then I'll share the screen, and we'll put our picks in. We'll make it official. Extend the stream for about 5 minutes here. Home, please. Oh, by the way, if there's anybody out there who is a graphic designer or artist, I am not, let me repeat, I am not interested in the slightest in any more artwork for my channel. I want to make sure that is known, because every single one of you guys has, I mean, I've had probably 500 messages, and it starts out all good, like, hey, how's it going, blah, blah, blah. Oh, great, I got another follower, nice chat with, and then it's like, hey, I'm a graphic artist, would you like to see some of my artwork? No, I wouldn't. And then they stop talking to me. Oh, whatever. Beerly. I'm going to look for Beerly. 1 second. Beerly football. Boom, boom, boom. We follow each other. Chaos Live. Where's the picks? Here we. Oh, I love the picks. I love the picks. Ooh. These are the best ones of the week. They did a good job on picking. I got so excited. Could you tell? All right. I'm going to give their channel a little shout out here. We're going to open up the screen capture. Boom, boom, boom. All right. I'm doxing myself a little bit here. Glowing Card on X. Be sure to follow me there. A lot of times although I haven't been as good the last few weeks, if I'm not going to stream a certain night, I usually post here saying, yeah, there's not going to be streams tonight. So be sure to follow me here. Here we got it. We got it. Colts at Jags. I said that was going to. Let me go ahead and reply real quick. We're going to take the Jags over Colts. Then we're going to. Can I move that? Cancel that. Discard. We're going to take. Okay, we're taking the Jags, the Bears, and the Texans. That's what we're doing. So let me reply again. Can I reply? Oh, look, a big, easy way to do. Why would I capitalize that? Like I'm shouting at them. All right. We're taking Bears over Green Bay. And Texans. I think this is the easier pick. You know, actually, let me just put Jags win, Bears win, Texans win. I forget some of you younger people don't know when I say certain things. They're like, over? What do you mean? It's over for them, over them? Or I don't understand. Jags win, Bears win, Texans win. Easy to understand, right? I think. All right, we're in for that. Maybe we'll get another shout out. We'll see on who was the Monday night game? Yeah, we'll know by Sunday evening then the winners of these three. And I might get another shout out. But yeah, go follow Beerly and find this post from them. Where are they at? Beerly Football. Simple, easy at Beerly Football. Mention these or go watch them. They have their podcasts. It's a little different. So check it out, see if you like it. If not, at least you tried, right? All right. Now I'll get out of here. I'll come back in like 5 minutes. We'll do some water park simulator. We'll see if we can get some of those viewers back. All right. I'll see you guys in 5 minutes. And until then, be good to each other. I'll be right back.